Access to a properly working outdoor spigot can make gardening and outdoor cleanup a whole lot easier. Hi, I'm Tony. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a new spigot that works for you, including determining the location, securing it to the house, and connecting to existing plumbing. For this project, I'm going to show you how to install a spigot that doesn't require soldering. But for any type of plumbing project, always check local codes. A good place to start is to determine where to install the new spigot. Use something for reference, like where the utilities enter the home, the corner of the house, or the block joints of the foundation. Grab some measurements from that point. In this case, the new spigot will be between two joists near the corner. Use the outside measurement for an exact location. I'll use the total vertical measurement to locate the height to the sill, then the height above the sill. This is where we'll install the spigot. I like to drill a 1/4-inch pilot hole at the rim where the spigot will go so I can see the location from outside. We have an open ceiling, so we have access to our plumbing lines. If you don't have access to your plumbing lines, it's best to call a pro. A spigot is also called a sillcock. The type we're installing has an anti-siphon feature that prevents water from getting back into the plumbing system. And it's frost-free. It has a long stem that opens and closes the valve far back inside the house. This helps prevent the water in the fixture from being exposed to colder temperatures and freezing. From the outside, drill a larger hole with a hole saw or spade bit. I reverse the direction of the drill to help avoid cracking and tearing the vinyl siding. Then I change the direction back to cut through the wood. We have vinyl siding, so I'm going to install a vinyl siding mounting block that will house the spigot. These blocks have a back that gets mounted behind the siding and an outer ring that mounts over the siding. Make sure the spigot will clear the ring when installed. They can be installed with just a few tools. To install the mounting block, measure the box dimensions from the center of the mounting hole. Then transfer those measurements to the siding. Make it a little wider so the siding will slip back over. Next, remove the vinyl siding. Now install the back ring with nails or screws. You can use a level to keep it straight. Then cut the vinyl siding with tin snips. You can add optional house wrap tape along the flange. Then reattach the vinyl. Finish by locking on the outer mounting block ring. Spigots should tilt forward slightly so any water that's left inside the pipe will drain out. This spigot includes a shim to help correctly position that angle. To secure the spigot, insert it into the hole and check it with a level. Then mark the mounting holes, pull out the spigot, and drill pilot holes. It can be easier to install the mounting screws by first removing the knob. Next, apply exterior silicone sealant to the back of the spigot flange and spacer. Reposition the spigot in the hole and secure it with screws. Then reattach the knob. It's typically best to connect to the nearest and most easily accessible cold water supply. In some cases, you might need to run the pipe under the floor joists, or you could run it through the joists. But one important note is the hole should not be within 2 inches from the floor joist edges. We're going to connect our spigot to copper pipes with a shutoff valve near the spigot. Then we'll run the pipe along the joist and connect it to the existing cold water supply. These shark bite fittings work with copper and PEX. To install, turn off the water supply and open faucets to relieve pressure in the line. I'll attach a few 2x4s along the joist so the pipes aren't directly against the joist. Then I measured the height from the spigot to the sill and transferred that to the 2x4s. I'll loosely attach 10-foot lengths of copper with brackets centered on those marks. At the spigot, I'm going to attach a small length of copper before routing it towards the joist. To cut the copper, use a pipe cutter. This one automatically tightens the cutting wheel with each turn. Next, use the shark bite deburring tool to remove the burrs. Also use the tool to mark the fitting depth. This gauge has depth guides for both first generation fittings and newer max fittings. Now insert the pipe into the fitting on the spigot, making sure it reaches the depth mark. And that's all it takes to install a shark bite fitting. If you need to remove a fitting, use the removal tool. I'll connect to the spigot with additional 45-degree fittings and copper. It's not a bad idea to have a shutoff valve on the line in case you need to do maintenance. When cutting copper, account for the insertion depth into the fitting. Check the fitting package for info for your pipe size. After that, I'll use 10-foot lengths of copper and couplings to reach the cold water source pipe. At the source pipe, I'll use a T-fitting to connect to the new line. To install the fitting, hold it in place and mark where to cut the pipe. Use a pipe cutter to make the cut. Deburr the pipe, mark the depth, and install the fitting. I'll connect to the spigot line with copper, a 45-degree fitting, and a 90-degree fitting. When everything is connected, I'll secure the pipes with more hangers along the joist. Now turn on the main water supply and check all the connections. It's a good idea to use spray foam around the hole in the rim joist. Then replace the insulation. Pipe insulation is optional, but can help with condensation. Installing a new spigot can help keep your yard and home's exterior in top shape. And now that you know the step-by-steps, you can install a spigot wherever you need one on your home. Thanks for watching. Remember to like the video, click that subscribe button, and let us know in the comments what other types of how-to projects you'd like to see from Lowe's.